Hi, welcome to another episode of Ben African Cichlids. So you might be wondering why this 10 gallon here just have this much water into it. Well, we'll tell you what's happening and so you might be wondering why this 10 gallon tank here just have a few inch of water at the bottom. No, it's not leaking, it's something else. I'll show you. So the other day that tank here was full of water and we had a cave in there and some egg crate at the bottom just because we were trying to spawn those Petricola catfish here. Sorry, that tank glass is all dirty there. I should have cleaned it before doing that video, but so those Petricola catfish, so the male are usually nice and long, the female are more round. So for example, that's a male right there. There's a female with him in the back here. If she can get out, I can show you. But anyway, the female are more round. So the darker one behind him, that was a female that was following him. That was pretty quick there. I know you might have not seen this. So anyway, those fish were ready to spawn because the female was full of eggs. So we decided to set up this tank here, and then they did spawn. It just took less than 24 hours and we had a big spawn. Now those eggs there, if there's any dirt in the tank or the fish waste, there's fish do waste in the tank, then it's gonna bond and attach to the eggs, so it's gonna make those eggs rot. So unless you have a spotless tank to try to get as many eggs surviving, normal setup, usually you're going to lose probably half. Anyway, so but yeah, I'll show you the babies in here. So they hatch. They did the Petricola did their eggs 2 days ago, and then it just takes 24 hours usually. So they were in the tank for 24 hours. It took 24 hours for the eggs to hatch, and now they're all little free swimming in there. So those guys in here, they're really hard to see. I don't know if you can see this little thing in the middle of the screen moving at the bottom there. So that's a Petricola catfish. This little ball with the tail swimming around. There's a lot more over here. You can probably see it better on the black. So there's tons and tons of those in the tank. Looks like we're having a nice big batch. But what's happening, it's, if I show you, I don't know if you can see that over there. Probably not. Anyway. So there's still a little bit of dirt on the tank, so it made lots of the eggs rot, but I think we have about like a 50% survival rate as of right now. I would say, without counting them, because they're impossible to count right now, but without counting them, I would say we're probably like, I'm estimated that we have at least 30 to 50 that are hatching, swimming around. So the reason why we don't have the level too high in the tank was, first of all, to lower the water pressure on top of the babies, and to give them easier access. Sometimes catfish like to go swim towards the surface or have a little breath at the surface of the tank, so it gives them just a couple inch, right, like probably 4 inch here that they have to swim up. They were swimming up the whole tank before, but we took some water out just to try to up our chances of survival. So as of right now, because they're super small, just, you know, as big as a grain of salt almost, or sand, we're feeding them North Fin First Bite, and also some vinegar hills. So we have vinegar hills in this bottle here. Vinegar hills, it's gonna be hard to show you that there because sometimes it doesn't really show on camera that much. But anyway, this is like, yeah, I won't be able to show it to you. Anyway, that's like almost microscopic little worms in there. Little white transparent worms. So you just usually use a pipette, and then you put the top, you put that little sponge in here, and then you put water, and then the water won't mix with the vinegar, but the heels or little worms can go through that sponge, and they'll go breathe air at the top and that water, and that's where you scoop them. So the other thing that we feed them is actually fry starter from North Fin, and then it's 100% Atlantic krill. It's just a powder form, super small. I don't know if it's small enough for those fish, but we'll try. It's just our second time trying to breed the Petricola. The first one was kind of like a disaster because we had the spawn just a couple days before we went on vacation, and we had somebody who were paying a kid to come. Like, he does a great job feeding all the fish and all the aquarium and the house and then the fish room, but because it was our first time breeding the Petricola, we were pretty stressed about it, and we brought them with us in a small container, trying to control the heat, trying to control the food, and we end up losing everything. We didn't have that much to start with because I don't know what happened. We just probably had like 5 or 10 to start with that survive, and then when we brought them with us, we were able to make them survive for about a week. But I think, no, it wasn't the best situation either because it was in the middle of the summer, and we were like camping at our trailer, so you know, we cannot control the temperature in the trailer that much. Like, well, we have AC and stuff like that, but when we go over there, we're off the grid, so everything is with solar panel and generator, and you know, you look at your power consumption and all that. So we had like air bubbler going, a sponge filter going, and all that in that tank. But I don't know if it was the temperature fluctuating or maybe just the car ride with the water moving around a little bit. But anyway, none of the baby end up surviving at the end of that week. So now it's our second time. We're trying different food, and yeah, hopefully it's gonna work, and then we can grow those little baby Petricola. There's actually a lot more at the back of the tank there, but cannot take a good shot from them there.